Have you ever heard of Vim Tools? Well, if you have not, you're missing out. Nuts and bolts with Tone here, guys. Today we're going to go through Vim Tools and I'm going to show you some of my favorites. Some that I have, some that are on my short list, and some amazing Vim tools that are just coming out. Before we do, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell. You get notified of all my future content, which you definitely don't want to miss. All right, let's go check out Vim Tools. Well, let's jump right in. So I was actually pretty interested to see this. I didn't really know anything about Vim Tools except for that they made really awesome tools. And so I just saw the About Us tab and I clicked on it and I kind of read down through here how they started and how it all came out. Like company started in 1931 and the guy would travel the country selling out of his mobile tool distributor. And pretty interesting. So if you when you guys go to the Vim Tools website, click on the About Us and just kind of scroll through here. It's really interesting and it's a very short read. But yeah, so anyways, that's kind of how they got started. So let's jump right in with Magrails. But before I show you the Magrails here, I'm going to show you what they look like in person. So you can see right here, I've got these Magrails here. I've got one here. I've got two side by side, and I've got all these Koken sockets. I mean, look at these extra long Koken sockets, and they are just stuck right there, and they are not falling off. That shows you how good the Magrails are. The Magrails are so strong that if you're going to buy them, you need to buy one of these pulls because otherwise you can't get them off. So this is the Torx Universal on a Vim rail. So these are absolutely awesome. All right, so now that you saw that, just so you can see here, there's all different kinds of Magrails. So you've got a single row Magrail, and they have them in 6-inch length. Looks like 6-inch, 16, 20, 12, different colors. So 6, 8, 12, 20. You have to look at the different colors and the different lengths that they have. And then you can get dual rails, and you can get I think there's a tray, and I believe they have a triple rail. And then here is the adapters that you need. So you need to buy the Magrails, but then you have to buy the little adapters here. And the way these work is your Magrail, it's got two magnets and it's got a channel. And so these, they slide through the channel. And then what it is what's really nice about it, makes it very unique, is you slide. So you slide this through the channel, okay? Like that. You slide this flat part through the channel and you figure out where you want your socket, and then you screw down the black knob and it locks it in place. So then you've got your knob in place, because now this is not a drive. This is not a quarter drive or 3/8 drive. It is a peg, an alignment peg, basically. And so you can see here how it works right there. So they slide in the channel. So really awesome, but like I showed you, you have to get well, I guess you don't have to, you could fight them, but you really need to get the lifter. The problem with the lifter, and the only reason that this is kind of a bummer, is you can only get these lifters in a pack of 10. So I had to buy 10, and I think I used like 3. If you've got room on your rail, maybe you put one on each end, depending on, how you do it. I think I've got like 2 or 3 rails up there. I think I've got 3. I had one for those universal Torx, and then I bought 2 to put I was kind of redoing my cart. So that's how the Magrails work. Next up is the T30 Torx rail. Now, this is actually really interesting because a T30 is the most common. I think a T30 is the most common Torx, and I think an E10 is the most common E-Torx that you're going to come across. At least that's what I come across. You might come across other ones, but just in general, those are the most common. So this is pretty cool. It's out of stock right now, but you got an 8-piece T30. So it looks like you got the little half cut, You got a regular Torx. That looks like it might be a tamper-proof Torx. You've got an E-Torx, a Torx, a universal. You've got a mid-length Torx, a ball-length Torx, and then an extra long Torx. And then you also have another Torx. Anyways, pretty cool if you don't own a lot of the different Torx rails. If you don't have a lot of these different ones, that could be something to look into. It's obviously out of stock, so you can't get it right now. And then next up is their half-cut sockets. Now, their half-cut sockets are really nice. They're really small, and they're really easy to get in places. The only reason that I would recommend getting something different than these is because they don't have a dual drive. So you can only put a ratchet on here. So they've got the XZNs, they've got you can get a whole rail of every single one of them. They're really small and you can get them in a lot of places. But like I said, I personally have all the half-cut sockets in Carbine Tools because all of mine are dual drive. So mine are you can put a ratchet on there and you can put a wrench on there. So there's been times where you just didn't have the length to put a ratchet and you could put a wrench and get right in there. Or if you just didn't have the room, physically, side to side for a ratchet. So, but the half-cut sockets are awesome. I have a couple. They're really nice. But anyways, that's just showing you what Vim Tools has as far as half-cut sockets. All right, so now we've got the universal Torx. Let's take a look at mine. Another great set that I can't find on the website is these universal E-Torx. So they start at E4 and they go up to E16. And look at that. These things are super awesome. And let me tell you what, you're trying to go underneath an intake manifold on a Sprinter, things like that. These are going to get it done. And these are Vim Tools, but I can't find them on the website. This is the E10. This one I used to keep on my cart. But just to show you just how awesome they are, Vim Tools definitely makes some fantastic sockets. All right, so this is the universal Torx. Now, these are awesome because if you need to get into places, you're not going to get a universal with a Torx to be as short of a space as this is, and the bend and the joint that you're going to get out of this universal is better than you're ever going to get. So I strongly recommend, if you work on Torx or E-Torx, I strongly recommend that you get the Torx. Now, obviously, the E-Torx, it's not available. That's why I'm not going to show it here. But it is coming soon, and I'll show you that. Now, they do have a new version of these coming out. I would imagine they're all going to have this. But so there's the Torx, and then there's the triple square XZNs, and then they also have the Hex. So those are all, if you work on a lot of that stuff, those are really worth it. Now, this is what I would recommend you wait for. So the E-Torx, they don't have them on the website anymore, the ones that I have. But they have these coming out, and these are a dual drive. So it looks like and I'll show you this in a couple more slides, but it looks like all of their universals are starting to be dual drive. So you can put a ratchet on there or an extension on the end because it's obviously got the quarter drive. But then you can also put a wrench on the end here, which makes it really convenient because if you can't get in somewhere, you can put a wrench on there. And so this is the same thing I have, E16, and we're going to go all the way to E4. So that's the exact same rail that I have, just in a dual drive. It's obviously going to cost more, but so much more worth it. So if I didn't already have the E-Torx, I would for sure be buying these. And so definitely would be something to look into. And as you'll see in the next few slides, it looks like that must be the direction that they're going. All right, so in this one here, it looks like we got a 4-piece set. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. So we have a universal quarter drive. We have a 10 mil. We have, it looks like an E10. And we have a 10 mil magnetic socket, it looks like. So it's a 4-piece set, and this is that dual drive I was talking about. So you can see the drive on the bottom right there. Now the next set that they have, now this is a 3-piece universal set. This has, so there's two things about these that I really like and that I've seen in videos. For one, they've got the dual drive. So this is a quarter drive to quarter drive universal, and then 3/8 and then half. But what I've seen is that these are also the firm flex. So we all have those universals where you it gets worn out and you've got to put tape around it, or you're sitting there with a socket and it starts to fall over. Well, these, they have they have something in there where, like, if you bend it like this and you let go, it straightens itself back out. So it kind of flings itself back up. So I actually want to get a set of these. These are on my short list to get. But right there, so and it's the dual drive like I was talking about. So I'm pretty sure all of their universals are going to be going to dual drive. Now, next up, now my coworker has this set. This is really awesome. This is a 77-piece Vim Tools bit set. Now, this has, I think it has just about every bit that you can want. I mean, you got Torx, tamper-proof Torx, Torx Plus, you got Hex, you got XZNs, and it comes with an extension for quarter and for 5/16, and you got a ratchet where you got quarter on one side and 5/16 on the other. Now that's a really good set. That one's $177. Now this set right here is 89 pieces, so this is going to be a little bit different. But what's unique about this set is, as you can see in the picture here, we have a ratchet and you have an extension. Well, what's neat about that is you could take this extension here and you put it through the ratchet and you have a T-handle. So as you can see here, we got a T-handle, and this has a bit in it. And so this gives you some leverage when you're dealing with bits. You can put a bit down here and you can put a bit right there. And so that gives you the leverage with bits. Now, this is, like I said, remember I told you about the dual drive. So this is a 10-piece quarter drive set. So you're going to have the dual drive in this one as well. So you see here, you got a 5.5 universal. You also have the dual drive. So you can put an extension on there. You can put a wrench. You can put a socket on there, whatever you need. So pretty neat. And plus, I mean, if you haven't held a Vim Tools universal in your hand, like those E-Torx or the Torx, oh man, I'm telling you what, if you get a chance, if you know somebody that has any, check them out, because once you do, you're definitely going to want to get some. Next up is the wrench extender. Now, I wish I had bought this one. I bought one for Matco. Obviously, Matco doesn't make it, but I needed it one day. Matco had it, and I bought it, and it worked. It worked great. But what I like about this is this has got a handle on there. So if you've got that really tight stuck fastener, you've got this nice comfort grip handle to really give it some nice leverage and give it some ugga-duggas. So, and that's $62.53. I'm pretty sure Vim Tools has one of the nicest wrench extenders, at least the nicest one I've ever seen. Now, these are brand new, and I've been seeing these like crazy. I believe it was Mr. Subaru actually posted a video saying, don't worry about the torque that these can handle, and used a torque checker, or where you would put a tool on there to see how much torque it has, and it had a lot of torque. But anyways, these things look super strong. So these pretty much appear like a flex head ratchet. I mean, a flex head ratcheting wrench. So you've got this ratcheting wrench end. You can see here from the side. See, it's like an offset wrench. So, we have the mountain wrenches, or Easy Red, or Monster, or whatever wrenches. They're all the same, made by the same company. And they've got one size on each end. And you've got a recessed, or not a recess, maybe you've got a section of it where it's deeper, so you can get inside of a pulley, and then it flexes. And so that's what these are. And you pretty much put these on an extension. So these are 3/8 drive. And this set is 8 through 13. And these are brand spanking new. I mean, I literally just started seeing these everywhere. And you can see right there. These definitely are on my list. So it's 150 for 8 through 13. And you get the next set is 171 for 14 through 19. So that's going to give you all the sizes that you need right there. And they come on a little, do they come on a Magrail? Yeah, they come on a Magrail, so you can see anytime you got this guy right here, it's on a Magrail because that's the pull pin to get it off. Because I'll tell you what, if you don't have that pull pin, you're not getting that rail off of there. Next up is just showing you some undercar tools that Vim Tools has. Now, I don't need these, and Enright Automotive and some other people that live in the Rust Belt that I've seen, you have to use this kind of stuff. So you've got these hub cleaning discs here to clean the hubs. I personally have never really had to clean a hub, maybe a few times here and there, but for the most part, never really had to do it. But I do need to get these. I need to get some hub and dust cap pliers because when you use the screwdriver and you bang them off, they get damaged and then they ended up falling off. So they've got a couple different kinds, some brake bleeder wrenches. But I really wanted to show you these cleaning pads that they have for the hubs. So pretty neat. And also the wheel stud installer. So I have a Lyle one, but I only have one, and I only have the one size. So it looks like they've got two different sizes, truck and car, which is actually pretty nice. So check that out. Next up, now, if you work on BMWs, you definitely going to want this right here. So you got one bolt that goes from behind the bell housing and it goes through the starter, and it's a pain in the butt on the BMW. And so this is nice. It's got the perfect angle to get back there, break that bolt loose. Once it's loose, you can thread it out by hand. It shouldn't have a problem unless it's broken. I had one broken one time and had to drill it out. But for the most part, if you break it loose, this will get it out. And not this last year, but the year before, I actually saw this in person at SEMA, and that was the first time I had ever seen it, and that's when I realized that Vim Tools made it. So if you work on European cars, that would definitely be worth it. So for me, I buy tools and I show them, and I have people go, "Oh, well, that's just $20. That you don't need to spend that." You know what? If you could spend $20, $40, $50 and make your life easier, and over the course of time, you get things done quicker and faster, you make more money. So really, it was a wash, but also convenience. Now this, if you don't have an angle torque wrench, if you don't have a tech angle torque wrench, maybe this is something that you want to look into. This is a digital angle and torque meter. I have tech angle torque wrenches, so I don't need this, but just thought I'd show you. They had it, and it's from Vim Tools, so you know it's going to be a good quality. One of the things that I don't like about one of the things I would never do is buy a cheap tech angle torque wrench, because I wouldn't trust the tech angle or the torque. And when you buy a torque wrench, I mean, you're putting a lot of trust in that torque wrench because you're relying on it to clamp it down a certain amount or to turn it a certain degrees. So it's got to work. Now, I've never seen these in person. I just thought I'd show you because, Lyle Tools, they have the 3 different electrical disconnect pliers, and this looks very similar to the third installment that Lyle Tools has. The one from Lyle looks a little beefier, looks a little thicker, and the angles are a little bit more. These look like they're a little bit more of an angle. That Lyle Tools has less of an angle. So these actually might work. I mean, as long as they're strong, it's got some really nice teeth on there. So these actually might work pretty good. So if you haven't got all of the electrical disconnect pliers, or if you want to try something new, definitely try those out. But if you do and you like them, let me know. Now, this is just a bit driver set. If you use bits a lot, this has got multiple different sizes and styles of bit drivers. So it's just going to hold your bits. And it comes on a Magrail. Now this here, let's say you got a can, and you keep a can of a metal can around the shop, and you want to keep it handy, so you can attach these mag rails to wherever, and then you can use this can and stick them right to the mag rail. So it's just a magnetic can holder. And the last two are actually coming soon. There's 3 coming soon tools. These 2, and then one I already showed you, and I'll go back over that one in a second. But this is a double-sided door toolkit. This is pretty nice. So I have a metal one like this, similar to this. This one looks like it's got a little bit of a better angle. Let's look at a different picture here. You've got multiple different angles. So I like this. It looks like it's got a flat part. It's got a spoon, and then it's got 2 different spoon angles with a divot out of it. And it looks like it comes in a little pouch. So this one is coming soon, and also these. So these actually will be pretty nice when you're inside of a door panel, or you're trying to pop something and you got to get inside of somewhere and you don't have the reach, the leverage. These look like they could be interesting. Not sure how they would work out. And then the last thing was just want to show you since I said coming soon. These say coming soon, they're out of stock. So the E-Torx dual drive. So that looks like it on the Vim Tools. So really, like, the 2 main things that when I think about Vim Tools that are like a go-getter is the mag rails for sure, and then all of their universal sockets. But like I said, these are definitely the ones you want to get. You want to get the dual drive. So very happy with that.
I'll bet you're surprised to see some of these tools. Even myself, when I was going through, I found some tools that I never even knew that Vim Tools made. And I saw some that are coming out, and they are definitely on my list. All right, drop me a comment down below and let me know if you have any Vim tools or if any of these tools are going to be on your short list. Thanks for watching the video. I will see you guys next time.